Honestly, the squeaky chair Destiny Trips is nearly as broken as hearts in more ways than one. But hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for the brand new video. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, the bleeding has stopped from what was a devastating week for this football club. Could have got significantly worse if Rangers didn't roll up the sleeves and do their job throughout the game of football. And that's exactly what they did, as our team booked their place in the Scottish Cup final. Or, if Tavernier's graphic designer calls it, the Scotland Cup. But can't make fun of it these days, because maybe he's got a lisp. It was just a joke about the spelling. Please, don't arrest me these days. I don't know what the actual rules are. But what I'm actually here to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, is this football club as again they've gave us something after what was a truly dark weekend. We needed something for that game. We needed changes. We needed adjustments. We needed returning personnel. And Clement made a big statement with his starting 11 right here. And trust me, there's a hell of a lot to talk about. And I'm just going to dive right into it, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to speak about the first player that I'm here to talk about. Mr. Leon Balogun, who was dropped back in after Connor Golson was dropped from the squad. A massive statement and a massive decision made by Phil Clement, dropping the vice-captain for his football club and playing Leon Balogun. And if you follow this channel a lot, or you follow this is something I've been wanting to see. I've been wanting to see Leon Balogun back in the starting 11 for months. It's not during the bad periods when we were winning close games and we were in the winning run. What did we keep talking about? I was like, it's great, but I do feel like the defence is still a mess. I didn't like the partnership with Suter and Golson. For me, it doesn't work. I've been waiting and I've been waiting for the return of Leon Balogun that much that when I actually saw it done for a semi-final trips, I could have picked a 50 pence up with the old arse cheeks, because I was nervous because I put so much faith in this laddie, saying if he was played A, B or C wouldn't have happened, or he wouldn't be allowing that, or he would be doing that when he was given an opportunity. If it all went wrong, this guy's looking more of an idiot than he normally does, and that is saying something. But truthfully, almost for the first whistle trips, the first time that Hearts tried to go forward and lump a ball forward, I knew there was something different. And I want to give massive respects to Leon Balogun, because this is his first meaningful minutes, not a minute here or a minute here, his first meaningful minutes game since the 2nd of March, troops. He's been out in the cold since that occasion, and it's funny because you look how bad we've been defensively and everything like that. His last game was a clean sheet. His time before that was a clean sheet. The man has played in 16 games in total, ladies and gentlemen, and he's been involved in 10 clean sheets. That's an incredible turnaround in itself. But honestly, just respect to this laddie coming into a defence that was absolutely shambolic. Yes, we kept a clean sheet versus Dundee, but we shouldn't have. We were conceding chances. We looked so vulnerable. We were conceding chances in the first minute of every single game for the last month and a bit. But he drops right into that scenario and changes the dynamic like that, and he finishes the game, ladies and gentlemen, up against the best goal scorer in this country without really breaking a sweat, with massive tackles, massive interceptions, and more importantly, big headers up there. And it looked like he had been playing every week. So much respect for that lad, and he's a major reason why we actually won it. He's 35 years old, troops, you know what I mean? He's not got a contract going in to next season. He's got every right to have one eye on the old vacation and one eye on where he's gone next, but instead he rolled the old sleeves up and joined a defence that was in shambles and cleaned up the mess that his replacements have actually made. So before I go any further, Leon Balogun, we thank you, son, and you shouldn't leave the team again, sorry, because what a difference an actual defender goes ahead and makes. And speaking about Balogun actually gives me the perfect transition into the talking point of the actual defence, because what I found so impressive, not everything we've already talked about, but Balogun was playing out of position, ladies and gentlemen. He wasn't playing where he's played the majority of his Rangers career, left centre back. No, he came in and played right centre back. He played in Goldson's spot, which should destroy any narrative or any myth that John Suter has been held back by this football club because Connor Goldson's playing in his position. No, Goldson wasn't playing the day. Balogun was played in that role, and John Suter played where he was. And for me, if you looked at the both of them, the biggest takeaway I've got away for us defensively as a 35-year-old who's been sitting doing nothing for months and barely any game time under his belt has came into our team and looked levels above and probably gave us a stark reminder that we do need better quality in that position if we want to go forward in day things. And I truly believe that if Connor Goldson was playing today and he played the role that Suter did and made the mistakes that Suter did, especially in that second half, Connor Goldson would be trending until Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. And it underlines and backs up something I've said many times right here on the channel. Connor Goldson and John Suter are playing just as poorly as each other. The only difference is the PR for John Suter is sensational, like he's a world beater, and I just didn't get it. And I'm not going to be overly critical here with one, but it's all about truth right here, ladies and gentlemen. No point in burying our head in the sands because we like A, B or C. I want to win trophies. I want to see this team winning trophies. We do need better, and for me, seeing a 35-year-old come into the team and just look levels above every other centre-back on the park really underlined that fact for me, as I thought he brought out the best out of them defensively. It's the best I've seen us look in a long time, besides the self-inflicted mess of the second half. But we'll get into that, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm still wanting to talk some positivity, because we talked about Balogun. Now I want to talk about our boy Diomande, who you may have been surprised I was actually going to pick there, but what a difference. We had a defender that could defend, and we actually had two midfielders in the actual park controlling the midfield. It wasn't Lunny left on his own, and Lunny wasn't great today either, by the way, and if you stay for the recap you will hear that. But Diomande, man, what a difference that lad actually makes. And I know a lot of people made some cruel jokes saying, I can't believe he's ducked out of it because of a thumb. It's because of the anaesthetic and that gets used in the surgery. He wasn't medically cleared. That's why. It wasn't, oh, he had a severe thumb so he couldn't be bothered playing. No, there was actual real reason why he couldn't play. But now he's been cleared, and just what a difference he makes. The turn, the quality. It's like Glenn Kamara when Kamara was at his thing, when we were all calling him a Rolls Royce, sorry. A Rolls apparently to me. But you know what I'm saying. He was pulling the strings and looking class, and that's when we look good. And you can see that with Diomande. He's got the turn, he's got the forward thinking attitude. And I thought he was great, but it was a right balance in the middle, and it's what we've not had for a wee while. And then we had Todd Cantwell, who was my man of the match, spoiler alert for the rest of the video. I thought he was absolute standing. He never had Silva standing on his toes, and he never had Tom Lawrence standing on his toes. He was our number 10. It was on him to be the spark, and that is what he tried. Some good moments, some bad moments. It wasn't a perfect performance, but when he was given the keys to be the guy, he really grabbed this game by the scruff of the neck, and it shows you what I want to see for Todd Cantwell. The longer that game went on, his imagination, his creativity, his skill versus tiring defenders just started to create massive gaps. And that's what happens when you keep him on the park long enough to play against tired legs. No bringing him off for huffy duffers that can't be bollock playing right now, or that's how it actually appears. And that's how we win this game, ladies and gentlemen. A defender that can defend, keeping the best goal scorer in this country quiet. An actual midfield in there with Diomande helping pull on the strings, and Todd Cantwell being the creative spark that we needed. That's why we're on a final. Well, that and Cyril Dessers, ladies and gentlemen. And I wanted to leave Big Dessers to last because I know he got the official man of the match, or at least that is what was said. But for me, it was Cantwell the overall man of the match. But it's just great to see the Dessers roller coaster. We've talked about it. It's up here, it's down here, it's up here, it's down here, and everything like that. But you got the 2 goals. He's the difference maker in terms of the scoreline. The hardest job in football is to score goals. He done it. He got us there. The roller coaster's been nice since today. I've got my hands up enjoying it. It's just I constantly worry now because of that inconsistency, because of the ups and downs, that I'll soon be holding the old handlebars screaming for my life, which hopefully won't happen again for the rest of the season. But the Dessers experience was nice to me today. Shout out the Big Des. When he plays like that, it's great. Just stop fake shotting it so many times, but we'll get there. Because we're just going to jump right into the all-game recap right here, and you're about to hear Dessers' name a little bit further. But before we do that, again, pulling it back, we didn't concede a shot on our goal in the first minute of the game. Hallelujah! We must have at least one centre-back actually on the part. Now, granted, we did pass the ball directly to Hearts in 3 seconds of the football with our second touch, but let's ignore that. Let's worry about the actual positives. Let's focus on the actual positives then, shall we? And that was Dessers showing some real individual quality. But I'm pulling it back just a little bit to how the goal was created. Tavernier, who has been heavy criticism, and rightly so in my opinion. I thought he's been god-awful the last 2 games, but putting his body on the line in terms of a semi-final, winning a big 50-50 and then getting back up and just nipping and winning another 50-50. That's back-to-back for the skipper. It gives the opportunity to Cantwell. Then Cantwell picks out Dessers. Dessers gets up. Dessers fake shots in the entire Hearts defence. Falls for it. ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? Can I just say, was even one bit of recruitment or scouting done at all? Hearts deserve to lose the day. Not anything to do with their performance or that, but the fact that they fell for a Dessers fake shot, shame on yous. But aye, it's brilliant for Dessers. When it works, it looks great. When it doesn't, we'll talk about it in 5 minutes. But anyway, a fake shots, the defender Kent goes flying and then he slips it in to the back of net. Brilliant for the big man, brilliant for Rangers, and it all starts for Tavernier, who's been under heavy fire this week, winning 2 50-50s and putting his body on the line. And dare I say, ladies and gentlemen, he looked much better defensively. He had a bite in his teeth. He was winning balls. He was winning defensively. He bailed Suter out 2 occasions, which we'll talk about later on in the actual video. That's the best I've seen him defending. Was that because Balogun was there talking to him, communicating, demanding a wee bit more from him? Who knows? Maybe I'm just being a wee bit a Balogun fanboy right now. But aye, Tavernier was great today. I thought. If you follow me on social media, I did tweet out saying Diomande is back and so is the Rangers midfield, because the first 13.5 minutes I'm sitting here licking my lips, troops, because Dessers had an opportunity. He's had a cross in the first minute for our boy Seema that we've not even talked about, that he blazed the bar. He's already scored a goal. We're creating, we're looking great, we're all our hearts. I'm licking my lips, I'm loving life, and then Seema gets substituted off early, and our strongest 11 lasted 14 minutes of the game. And aye, I just reminded not to be too happy and just didn't allow my heart to fill with too much joy, because by God does this game just rip it away. Young Ross McCausland comes on for him, and it's nothing against him. You know what you get. He's a young lad that's learning the craft. He's nowhere near the finished product, but that substitution did kill the flow. I think if we were able to keep our starting 11 on, I think they're scoring a couple goals in that first half. Just the way we were slicing them open, just the way we were creating opportunities. But again, you make a substitution so early in the game, the press, the doubling up on this, the movements of the players is completely shaken, because Ross McCausland hasn't had the same talk that Seema had. Maybe a wee brief one on the sidelines, but he's not been spoken about to do this and do this. And you could see there was just a couple more gaps that wasn't existing previously when Seema was on the park. And Hearts started to grow into the game as we started to get a bit sloppy, and Hearts' best opportunity in the first half came for Lunny being far too slack with the ball, just passing it straight to Hearts as wee James Forrest, I like to call him the Forest with a neck, as he runs right into the actual box and has a shot that's well saved by Jack Butland. Let's not go there, because it's time to get serious, because less than 60 seconds later the ball goes out to Lauren Shanklin, and Lauren Shanklin shows he's got a bit more about him than just scoring goals, as he whips in a phenomenal ball for Kent, and Kent point blank range should score, but it's an absolutely incredible save by Jack Butland. And the only reason I'm not giving this a bigger talk up or a bigger reasoning behind that is because I do think Kent was offside. So if the ball did go into the back of it, I don't think it would have counted. But aye, the game played on. It wasn't given as offside. So aye, give credit to Jack Butland. That's a ridiculous point blank save for what, 3 yards out. Then this is what's interesting about football, right? If the goal goes in, that's offside because he's offside. But the corner that they won from Jack Butland saved for a shot that was offside, that ball goes in for the corner, nothing gets done with that. That's so weird in that aspect anyway, but thankfully it was defended well as Leon Balogun. Both big boy error. But as I said, the first half wasn't filled with too much, if I'm honest with you. You had Rabbi Matondo, the ups and downs of him as well. This is why he frustrates us so much. He was getting his start, and I thought there was a couple of occasions where his pace, where he got on the ball, when he believed on himself and he ran in, he burst the lines with one of them where he sprinted about 60 yards with the ball, passed it into Tavernier, who had a shot to Craig Gordon. It was easily saved of that, but you're thinking, there's the player, there's who he can be. What a weapon his pace is when he's already in a game that's not against a team sitting with 5-10 men behind the ball because we are chasing a game. There was space there to go at. He's just not got the full confidence in taking his man on just yet. And I think that comes with reps and games and everything like that. No 50-minute cameos, 50-minute cameos. But I'd much rather have that than whatever the hell Fabio Silva's are meant to be giving us over the last couple of months, if I'm being brutally honest with that. But aye, he wasn't great the day or anything like that. There was a couple of times he was falling over, or if Cantwell was doing beautiful turning his man, playing it down, he just wasn't getting the crosser right or the shot right. But his pace was a threat when it went right, and when it did go right, he created a major opportunity for Tavernier. But aye, it was just a little bit messy, but I'd just like to see us be a wee bit patient with the laddie and see if something's there. You know what I mean? We gave 3 months to Silva playing badly. Can we give maybe 2 games to Rabbi Matondo to see if he's got anything for the start. And that's truthfully how the first half ended. It sort of petered out with both sides cancelling each other out, sort of in the middle of the park, sort of falling away with them trying to make the final balls. I thought Balogun was great. There was one occasion versus Shanklin, and in fact versus Grant as well, where he's kind of left 1v1 a little bit as Suter gets beat with the actual press. They pass it in behind him. Suter just marshals him, and right to the sideline, and ends up winning us a throw from then being on the counter-attack. And I just sat there and I smiled and went, that's a defender right there. You know what I mean? No rash, no silly, no getting involved. And I'm like, just calm, composed. If you're going to beat me, make it something special. The Hearts player never done that, and we ended winning up a throw. But aye, we go into half-time, 1-0 up through Dessers' difference. Again, he did have a chance or two. There was another one with a fake shot that he could have got off a little bit quicker. But again, we're not being overly critical here. The first half was what it was. I wanted to see what would happen in the second, as we've been kind of slow starters in all expectations, and that's exactly what happened again, as Hearts won an early corner, and I'm sitting saying, oh no. Here we go. But again, we've got a defender in there, and Balogun wins the header bravely at the back post, getting up there big, and I think it's Diomande that hits kind of a hook ball, and Dessers just takes off and shows his ridiculous pace. I don't know where this pace was in August, the fitness regimen and what the coaching staff's done with him in terms of his pace and his physicality and maybe his weight is absolutely ridiculous, as he's just pure power, pure pace. It ends up straight and doing, forcing Kent and kicking the ball out. But then Dessers goes and gets the ball, throws it to Cantwell. Cantwell's through on goal, but the referee blows for a foul, as he says that Dessers pushes on the back of Kent. And this is where I need to talk to you seriously, ladies and gentlemen. See, when we hear referees are helping Rangers, referees want Rangers this, Dessers hasn't touched Kent here. Even the bitter pundit who shall not be named here, like Voldemort, because I didn't want to give him a single bit of publicity, I've seen the clip, actually said Dessers never touched the laddie. And when you've got somebody that hates us as much as that saying we've been robbed right there, it probably tells you how bad the referee was on that actual occasion. It's just horrific. Dessers in the day, none. And we should be given an opportunity to make it 2-0 there, but the referee making a mistake saves Hearts on that occasion. And truly, that was a massive frustration. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, the next 10 minutes is going to be known as John Suter o'clock, legend, because he's playing well. And this is the problem with Suter. And people seem to think, oh, you've got something against him, you always defend Goldson. No, if you actually watch the channel, I've been very critical of Goldson over the last couple of months, but I'm also very critical of Suter, because again, I didn't buy into the PR nonsense. I'm watching the games, and I'm seeing him making the same mistakes as Goldson actually does, and it's just needless for Suter, because he's doing so well, but he's got this in every single game he plays. This 10-minute spell, this brain fart, if you will, that starts in the 52nd minute and truly doesn't end till at least the 62nd, maybe even going further in to that, as he's just got nothing to do, and he just ends up taking a stupid touch that plays in. Hearts sprint down. Vargas has to really just sweat it earlier, and it's 1-1, but he takes a little bit too much time, and that gives Tavernier a time to burst his ass into the right position, and as Vargas tries to cross it for an easy tap in, Tavernier bails out John Suter with a brilliant bit of defending right there. A guy that apparently can't defend is defending better than the guy that's apparently your best defender. People need to let go, you know what I mean? We support the team. Let's focus on the team, and let's call out when players' performances are doing here, no matter if we like them or no. But where that could have been 1-1, it really should have been 1-1, and Hearts will look back at this moment as a major opportunity in the game, and where the game was probably lost for them, as John Suter takes too many touches on the left hand side. Devlin comes in, takes the ball off him far too easily, and then John Suter tries to yank him down and pull him down to the deck, but he can't even do that. He can't even make up for his own mistake by pulling him down, as that's how poorly he's actually playing, you know what I mean? Devlin would lose a header versus Warwick Davis. How can Suter no pull him down to the actual deck? But Devlin plays it. Thankfully, it's just a little bit behind, but believe it or no, the ball being underhit causes Tavernier to slip. The ball then goes to Shanklin in the box. I'm saying, oh, here we go, man. It's Rangers o'clock. It's time again for us to concede a hang that falls for one of our defenders falling here, annoying slip on his arse. But thankfully, Sterling is skin tight, ladies and gentlemen. I said skin tight to John Suter, and Leon Balogun's big, brave, and he times his tackle perfectly to stop Lawrence Shanklin from making this 1-1. There you are, ladies and gentlemen. Sterling and Balogun, two players we want to see play more at the football club, bailing out someone I think gets an easy ride. And this truly was Hearts' best spell in the actual match, and it's again, unfortunately, Stelling does a good bit of defending as he blocks the cross, plays it to John Souttar. Souttar just needs to either punt it away or pick a pass. He tries to thread it down to the left-hand side. I think he just passes it straight to Grant again, I believe, and then Hearts have another opportunity, but thankfully it's hit over the bar, and you're thinking, you're saying somebody needs to pull him in, you know what I mean? I need to be Gary Lineker to Gaza here. Somebody needs to have a wee word with him, as Souttar is the definition of head loss, and it's completely needless, because he was playing great for 51 minutes and 56 seconds of the game, but that spell was horrific and it caused Hearts to come to the boil, and you're thinking, saying, oh no, here we go. Rangers went ahead and made a couple changes as Rabbi Matondo comes off for Fabio Silva, and it was one of the ends that I can understand. Fabio Silva, you're paying a lot of money, you're probably signed to say, yes, if I'm loaning him, he's going to play in X amount of games. I get all that aspect, but I was just a little bit with that sub, but I was happy that Todd Cantwell wasn't substituted off in the actual game. That's the biggest thing for me. I wanted to see Cantwell in, because Cantwell was at least trying and moving and trying to drag us going forward, so I was happy to see Cantwell in, and there you are. It shows you Clement go to right on the day, because the guy that he left on the park when he usually takes him off the park is the reason we are making it through to a final, because it's his run, it's his magical feat as he just picks the ball up, runs right at the Hearts defenders, beats one, beats two, beats three, Disney panic, plays in Dessers, who's in a better position. Dessers hits it, great save by the goalie, no complaints. Dessers hit that first time, that's what we want to see, Mary. But what I loved is Dessers is back up, then shows his actual composure, and hits it into the back of net. There's a time and place for coolness, calm and taking touches, and then there's times where you just hit it, and I thought Dessers got everything right there and deserved his goal. It's just a shame it doesn't come as a Todd Cantwell second assist in the game, but Cantwell ended up getting substituted after that magnificent run and the magnificent movement, having one assist to his name, but again, in the old asterisks, having two. But truthfully, Hearts never really offered too much in the last 15 minutes of the game. Shankland had a header that he hit the wrong side of the net that the Hearts fans actually fought in, and there was also a case where Dessers spun away from his man after Ross McCausland played to him, tried to fake shot it maybe too many times and ended up losing it. He passed it back to Silva though, but Silva lifted it over the bin, and then Dessers shows his quality again as he shows his unselfishness on a hat-trick in a cup semi-final, picks out the pass, runs the channel, plays it back beautifully back to Fabio Silva. Silva's got an easy tap in, but Silva ends up falling air, and if you want a bigger summary or a better summary than that, Fabio Silva's getting too used to diving, even when he gets an opportunity to tap into the back of net, the boys flop him like a fish, and I'm getting sick to death. He's seeing Rangers players fall on their arses instead of just tapping the ball into the back of net at Hampden. I didn't need the Sadiq flashback Fabio Silva, but you could say he's a wee bit unlucky here, but it's just horrific in my personal opinion, especially if you consider he was paid £35 million actually for, in terms of Wolves. Not us, Wolves on that occasion. And for the next couple of minutes, when Hearts looked like they were threatening with the counter-attacking opportunities we had, you could argue that Fabio Silva was probably Hearts' best defender on the day, with poor pass after poor pass. But I'm going to take it right to the 89th minute, because it was just manic. Ada, I believe that he's actually pronounced, cuts inside, pulls away for John Souttar, hits a shot that he really should bury, but it's a brilliant save for big Jack Butland. And from that counter-attacking opportunity, you've got Lawrence there, brilliant little skill, nutmegs his man, plays in Dessers. Dessers ends up hooking it wide, and then in the next couple of minutes, his Hearts is just sort of throwing everything, caution to the wind. Silva's got an opportunity to counter after Balogun gets his head on another big corner, but he just doesn't pass to Dessers at the right time. Dessers wide open, he's screaming for it, but Silva carries it an extra 30 yards, then tries to pass to him, but the space is gone. There's no opportunity to pass to Dessers, and I'd be infuriated if I was Dessers, as I'd be screaming for that on my actual hat-trick. But we did what we needed to do. We got the win. We've made the final. Now we have to try and just use this new spark that we've been given because of the people coming in to the 11 to hopefully kick us on now and go on a winning run. You know what I mean? Two bad games, ladies and gentlemen. Two devastating games. 4, 5, 6 great games now. Going forward, it could be a completely different feeling towards the end of the season. But this is Rangers Football Club. You never know what to actually expect. But shout out our boy Balogun. Shout out Diomande. Shout out Cantwell. Shout out Dessers. Massive in today's game. What about you? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down there in the old comment section below. And as always, I've been CJ92. Thank you so much for watching. All the best and bye-bye.